Welcome from Bloomington, Minnesota. Why am I in Bloomington, Minnesota, you may ask? I'm not going to the mall. I like going to the mall. I like the stores there. I think the food court's the best. Maybe I will go to the mall. No, I'm not going to the mall. Actually, I'm here at the Minnesota Association of Secondary School Principals Convention, and I'm having a great time. Today, I had an opportunity to take part in Roger Arnson's legislative session on school law, and it was great to get some insight into new things that are happening with legislation. Also, I've been able to network with some great friends and some great principals. So far, I'm having a good time, and tomorrow, more to come. It's going to be a great day. I want to thank Mr. Lundeen for this amazing opportunity. It's always great to have this professional development opportunity. So thank you again, sir. Now, I only have two takeaways this evening. It is now 11:06 on a Wednesday evening. So again, I apologize that this is so late, but I've been pretty busy today with driving and also with the convention. So the two takeaways that I have are one from today and two the takeaways from last week's Wi-Fi video vlog and where we were going from here. So number one. Roger Arnson articulated several things at our legislative update today that had to do with technology specifically, so that's why I bring him up, and that's why I bring this convention up to you on this Wi-Fi video blog. The three things that I wanted to articulate just have to do with one, data and student shared data. Is surveys. Also, that does go with the student data piece. And the last thing has to do with broken devices and can we mandate fees for students with regard to electronics. So real broadly, I'm going to hit each one of these issues quickly. I don't want you to panic or anything around any one of them, but know that I'm going to be doing a lot of research on each one to see where it applies to Black Duck. Have we done our due diligence to make sure we've set policy? Have we thought about all the ins and outs of what the legislation says that needs to happen? So first, sharing of data. Many of us do know that it's okay to share data, but Roger really wanted us to understand that yes, it's still okay to share data about students if and only if both parties involved, the people that are receiving and sending the information, have a vested interest in the educational success of that student. And if they do, we're okay. But just keep in mind that you must be able to prove that there is an educational benefit behind sharing that information. If there's no educational benefit, don't share the information. So that is in paper form, but largely he's talking about electronic form. This does come into play with IEPs and behavior reports, all those types of things. So be thinking about that in the back of your brain. Along with data sharing, there's been kind of a push to protect student information with regard to surveying. So when we think about Google Survey, Google Forms, and how we get those out to students and what we do with that information, know and only right now, don't do anything with this, just know that I'm going to be looking at what this means for us and how we treat surveys and what we do as a district. And we may be looking at calling them something different. Instead of surveys, we may have to call them questionnaires. It's not really getting around the law, but it's making sure to stay true to what we're going to be doing with it and what we're going to be doing with the information, how we share it. Most important thing is how we share the information. The third thing, again, it has to do with devices. Can we charge students before we hand the devices out? Can we start charge a mandating technology fee or something like that? The law has said we cannot do so, but what we can do is what Roger is saying, and what I've been reading in the legislation, is that we can mandate a deposit that we then give back to the student when they graduate or whenever they leave our district. So some big picture things that I want you to think about as we move forward that the technology team will probably have to address as a group. But know that we're kind of addressing those things. And yeah, it's some really interesting things coming from legislation. It's interesting to me how sensitive they're being, good or bad, how sensitive they're being to the sharing of data and information for students. So more to come about that topic. And lastly, I only have one more thing. Again, it's pretty late at night on 11:09 now, and I want to make sure I'm fresh for tomorrow's professional development. But the last thing I want to tackle real briefly is the Innovator's Mindset book from George Couros. I'm not going to delve into the text this week, but Several of you expressed interest in purchasing or getting the book for you. Don't worry about it. Got it. I'll take care of it. But you may or may not have received your survey from Stacey Swedberg about the innovator's mindset in George Couros' text, and what direction the staff development team wants to go down. Now, know that these are two different things. I'm doing my own thing with the text just because I think it's a great book and I don't want to wait and I want to read it now. The other thing is that if you want to do it, I'm not going to stop you either. And so if you want help with it, let me know. I'm not going to necessarily set up any meetings or anything around the text, but I'd much rather just open the door for you to take part in that text and let me know if you like it, and we can move forward. If the district decides to do something with it, great, and all the better. We can make sure that you're maybe a part of that leadership group that surrounds that text if that's the direction you want to go. But in the meantime, again, this is totally separate and just me wanted to spread the word and spread the knowledge about this great concept that a lot of us are already doing, but I want to make sure that it is a concept that I internalize and utilize here in our district. So thank you for your time this evening. I hope this was beneficial to you. As always, please provide some feedback if you want, and I'd like it. I need it. It's very helpful via email, and we'll talk more about the email topic. And I know I've been hearing some great conversations about that we brought up last week, emails for students and its application for elementary kids. So keep that coming, by the way. Keep that discussion going, and I want to understand a little bit more what we can do with it and how we can make it work if it needs to be made to work. So again, thank you for joining me this evening. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.